Today I want to share a story that has to do with kind of the first business, online business that I tried to start sometime around in 2017. So at the time, if you follow my work, you know that I taught martial arts full-time here in Singapore for the last 10 years. And towards the end of 2017, I was realizing that, number one, I was growing older, and then I had a lot of time. Basically, I got 2 to 3 hours in the morning and then 2 to 3 hours in the night that I wasn't using. So I was like, okay, I need to put that time to good use. And instead of, just like watching Netflix all the time and watching wrestling all the time, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I decided that, okay, moving forward, I'm going to take that 3 to 6 hours a day and build something. Like whatever it is, I have to build something, right? So what I did was I made a commitment. So I knew that just making the commitment wasn't enough. I challenged myself to actually purchase a brand new laptop so that I could carry it wherever I go and just learn and build basically this new online business that I wanted to start. But I didn't know what it was, so I did some research, and it seemed that at the time, drop shipping was very popular. So I did some research, and then I went to Udemy because I didn't know what to do. I went to Udemy and then I typed like drop shipping. So I saw that the number one course at the time was how to drop ship on eBay. So I looked at the course and it looked really affordable at the time, just probably 20 bucks or something like that. But it was a very comprehensive course and it was very promising, and all the reviews were very well done. So I thought that was the program and that was the solution. So I decided to go all in. I bought the laptop, I bought the program, and then I was like, I'm gonna use all my willpower and just concentrate on building this online business and just learn from the guy, because the course was very comprehensive and according to the teacher, like everything worked, and I saw how everything worked. As long as I could piece the right pieces together, it could work. So I worked really hard to study every single module. I took notes, and the learning curve was very steep because I'm not an IT person. I'm not a emerald person, I'm not a tech person, I'm not a numbers person. So I focused really hard to understand what the teacher was teaching, especially the very technical stuff. And I did my best. I used every ounce of my willpower to build my account, to build my listings, to optimize my listings, to get traffic, to do my copy properly, to optimize my photos. Like, I learned everything and I did everything according to the way that the course was teaching. And so the thing about eBay is, when you first try and start an account and list items and drop ship, you have an account limit, right? So I had to list my first about 10 items for a period of time before I could call up eBay and say, hey, this is a serious business. I am a serious businessman. Like, I follow everything according to your policy, and then I'm behaving as instructed. Can you raise my limits, right? And then they would raise it to 25. And a month later, after all that hard work, I call them again. Hey, I've been following all your policies, I'm a good businessman, like everything's in good standing. Can I raise my limits again? So okay, they would approve it. The customer service reps were all very good, and they raised it to 50 for me, And so same thing, next month they raised it to 100 and to 200. So I continued this thing for very painfully and slowly, about 3 months to about 6 months. And finally, I had my first watcher, not sale, but first watcher. And this watcher was just observing one of my spray cans that I listed. Now, of course, in dropshipping, you know that I don't own the spray can. I just list the spray can. And so he was watching, and I felt so excited. That was the first time someone watched my product after I listed all kinds of like household appliances for like 6 months, and finally someone started watching it. I continued listing, and by the time it got to like 8 months, like the guy was still watching and no one bought anything, no sale. And you must understand, from an emotional standpoint, by that time I was so demoralized that I was thinking like, okay, this is never going to work. And this is the main lesson that I want to share. You see, my first experience starting this first online business, and along with a lot of other things that I tried later down the road, this first lesson gave me the taste of when you are trying to start your first business, and things are not going well, just the demoralizing element itself, was sufficient to cripple my thinking. You understand what I mean? Because I was so demoralized, the emotions itself just crippled my thinking. And I didn't went to find out, how could I change what I was doing? Who can I speak to change my results? Which forum can I go to ask questions that could help me get out of this rut that I was stuck in? Basically, that was the first time I experienced myself being unable to think. When I know that I'm perfectly fit, I'm perfectly healthy, I have a mind that works, I can go. But it was the very first time that after 8 months of no sale, being so demoralized was the first time I tasted having a paradigm that couldn't work, that wouldn't operate, that wouldn't think. And that was such a dangerous place to be in, because basically from that time on, I didn't have the motivation, I didn't have the emotions, I didn't have the drive, and therefore I didn't have the ability, the know-how, the tools. I had zero chance of getting out of that rut that I was stuck in. So if you're listening to this and you understand what I'm saying, it took me a very, very long time to understand how to get out of it. And by the way, like 2 months later, so by the 10th month, this person finally made a purchase. And here's the funny thing. By that time, I had no idea, because I woke up one morning and I saw my Gmail, and someone had paid me like 50 USD or something. And I was like, wow, who is this kind soul that sent me money? It must be a mistake, right? Like someone just dropped money. My guardian angel just dropped money into my account. And, money just fell into my lap. And then I didn't recognize the name. I didn't recognize the country. I was like, who was this kind soul? And I forgot about it. And about 1 or 2 days later, then I realized that, wait a minute. I do own a dropshipping account. I do own an eBay listing account. Did someone buy something from me? So I went to check, and indeed, like after so many months of not logging in, someone, that watcher, eventually bought the spray can from me, and I made my first sale. There was real money that was inside my PayPal, and if I withdrew it, it would be cash in my hands. And then a fucked up thing happened. As I tried to ship to him the spray can, I went to Home Depot and I tried to make the purchase, and Home Depot said that they didn't accept payment from Singapore, my country. So I tried all kinds of ways, buying gift cards, alternate payments, getting my friend to pay for me. None of it worked, and I could not purchase the spray can to ship it over to that guy who purchased my spray can. So long story short, I never got the first sale. I refunded everything back to the buyer and told him that I'm out of stock. There's no way I can ship to you. Go buy a spray can from somewhere else. So this was my first attempt at starting a business. This was the first sale that I almost got, and most importantly, this was the main lesson that I learned, that when you're starting a business, having the willpower, having the discipline to sit through and follow through the entire course, the entire program, is not enough. And here's why. You could do the exact same thing that someone else that has the success you want, that they are already doing. You could do the exact same thing as they are doing and not get the same results at all. If anything, you could even get worse results, like what I experienced. So the main reason why I couldn't have my breakthrough wasn't because the course failed. The course worked, and it worked for thousands of people, thousands of reviews. It was the #1 course on eBay at the time. So the course works, eBay works, Home Depot works, my eBay listing works, everything worked. The only thing that didn't work was my emotions. Because by the time, like I said, I was so demoralized that my emotions crippled my thinking. And when you're in business and your thinking is crippled, basically there's no way you can get out of whatever obstacle, whatever rut that you're stuck with. And the most dangerous thing about this is when you are being blinded by your own emotions, that is exactly what it is. You cannot see. You understand? The most dangerous prison that you cannot escape from is the prison that you cannot see. Right? The most dangerous prison is the prison that you cannot see, because you don't even know that you are stuck inside the prison. It was only about 1.5 years later, after I built my first high income skill and learned about high ticket closing and forged my own high income lifestyle. I'm closing full time. If you're interested, you can check that out at seancina.com/team. I'm closing full-time now, and because the program that I'm closing for requires me to study, it's Bob Proctor's program. I have to study about the mind every single day. I have to study about paradigms every single day. That was when I realized that the whole time trying to do this first online business, my paradigm was controlling me the whole time. So I was trying to work harder and harder and harder. And so I got more stuck and more stuck and more stuck in my old paradigm. And all my emotions were crippled because my paradigm was just saying, no, there's no way you're getting out of this. And the only reason why I couldn't change my paradigm was because I didn't even know of the existence of my paradigm. And that's how dangerous it is. So I'm really thankful that at this stage of my learning, the number one thing that I'm studying is paradigms, right? And if you don't know, you can check out my other videos on paradigms. A paradigm is basically the mental programming, the invisible mental programming that overrides almost all, if not all, of your mental habits. And you know that your mental habits lead to your physical habits, and your physical habits are eventually all the things that lead to the results you get. So if you reverse engineer everything, you'll see that your paradigm, basically, in a nutshell, controls everything. So if you don't study your paradigm, you can't see your paradigm, you will live a life exactly that I was living, just working harder and harder, going in circles, and just getting stuck in the same old routine, same old paradigm with no results, right? So for that reason, right now I'm making it a habit to travel as much as I can to study about paradigm. Last month, my team and I went to Los Angeles to attend Bob Proctor's Paradigm Shift event, and all of us had a tremendous breakthrough personally. In our personal lives and business lives, everything, we had a phenomenal breakthrough. That is why this coming June, which is in about another 30 days, end of the month, in this coming June at the time of this recording, we will be traveling to Los Angeles again to attend Paradigm Shift by Bob Proctor. Thing is, almost all the tickets have already been sold out. So if you're watching this and you want to study what a paradigm shift is as well, find one of my links. You can either comment below or find one of the links in the description, either my email, that's team@seancina.com, team@seancina.com, or my Telegram @SeanCina. Just drop me a message, or if you're watching this on Facebook, just send me a DM. Wherever it is, just drop me a message. Tell me your name. Tell me who you are, where you're from, and why does this story resonate with you, and what is the obstacle? What is the rut that maybe you are currently stuck in yourself right now, and what is your plan to get out of it, right? And if I see that you're truly committed to mastering what a paradigm shift is, I'm going to get on a call with you and probably give you access and guidance on how to study not just this paradigm shift event, but how to follow up and actually go deep with and study your own paradigm so that you can basically just bypass everything that I was struggling with in that year, 2017, with my failed eBay dropshipping business. So if this video brought you the clarity, inspiration you wanted, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you know of a friend that has been trying something again and again and again and again and again, year in, year out, no results, do them a favor and tag them in the comments below, or just send them the link to the URL to this video. You never know whose life you could change when you take an action like that. So I had fun making this video. Any questions, just send them my way or just comment below. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers, guys.